Nice, it works. Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Ozone 3. Mythic Mode. In the last episode, we got the Infinity Catalyst, and it looks like we're up to 7,000 of that almost, which is a little bit crazy. And we also started crafting some creative items, like the creative tank, which is great, the creative cobblestone generator, which is not that useful, and the creative energy cell, which is also not very useful, but you know. Anyways, we left off last time trying to get the creative ember source, but of course that needed some stuff from embers, specifically the exchange tablets, which I tried to automate last time, and it was just an absolute mess. Although in between the episodes, and also in the beginning montage as you saw, I did actually rework the entire setup, and it actually works this time. See, I've already used it to craft up 300 of these ember crystal clusters, which of course is what we need for the ember source. And right now I'm making focal lenses. We're up to 120, which actually is almost enough. We only need 2 stacks of this if we want half a stack of the ember sources. And please ignore the low render distance. My PC is absolutely crying. But anyways, in between the episodes, I also went ahead and built the other 3 modules for our ectoplasm farm. And the rates are just kind of insane at this point. We're getting about 1,000 every 15 seconds, which translates to only 33 hours of AFK time, which is not that bad considering before it was 111 hours. I've been making good use of the ectoplasm. If we check, I have 70,000 specter coils by now, and I guess I'm crafting some more. I think I could probably start up another batch of 10,000. This is the maximum batch that I can do with our current CPUs, so maybe we'll get an upgrade for those today. Anyways, today the goal is going to be very simple. We're gonna work towards the chaos catalyst, and out of all of these items, I've gone ahead and pinned everything that we still don't have automated, because the rest of this stuff actually has EMC, or at least I think most of it. I guess there's some like nuclear craft ingots, but we can just smelt those. We already have these dusts. Yeah, so it should be fine. But no, the main things we're gonna try and work on today is all of the galactic craft wafers. We have to automate these. We also have to get ethereal slate, nocturnal powder, amber stars, bamboo, flame barriers, which is gonna be easy enough, naga scales, time absorbers, and AE2 singularities. This one's actually quite easy. I guess I can do that first. Anyways, before we do that, oh yeah, we have enough focal lenses now. Let's grab those. So actually now we can turn off these exchange tablets for a little bit, and I'll have to swap out the recipe to the flame barriers. It's quite easy. All I do is break the exchange tablets, and one by one I just change out the filters on the retrievers. Yep, there we go. Then we copy the settings with a red print. Now we need dawnstone and silver aspectuses, so I have to change out these ones. Okay, now I just need to change out the amount that we stock. Looks like we need anywhere between 16 and 32 ashes on each of the aspectuses. So let's try running the recipe once. Okay, we were inaccurate by 3, so it's gonna be 19 on each. We just copied that over to the other retrievers. Okay, and now we should be able to run them full time. Nice, there we go. I'll send everything through our white ender chest. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I have all of these timers set to 35 seconds. Although it does seem like a lot of time is spent doing nothing. Yeah, that was a pretty big delay between starting the next craft. Maybe I can put this down to 30 seconds. Yeah, we'll check back on this later. Anyways, what we can do now is filter the barriers into one of these drawers. And yep, it's being sent over. Alright, anyways, next up, we should actually craft the source now. And I don't actually think we're gonna need the combination crafting to be on autocraft. Yeah, I double checked all the recipes and there's nothing here that we want a large quantity of, other than the chaos bauble, but I think this one we're just gonna passive. Yeah, this is something that we'll need in all of these random ingots and the creative chest itself, so I think we need a couple thousand of these. But yeah, since we need that large of a quantity, we might as well just passive it. But that's for later. Right now, what we need to do is check how many pedestals this is going to need. We need 43 pedestals. Let's do 48 pedestals. Except that's not really going to fit in the space, is it? Yeah, no, it totally can fit. I mean, it looks fine. Again, no, who am I kidding? This looks stupid. But who cares? If it works, it works. And for now, I guess I'll just use some hoppers to automate this. I think I can easily get the rest of this stuff. It's not that bad. Okay, yeah, I think I've got everything. Other than these inscription tiles, which have letters on them. I think the way we're supposed to get them is with this arcane inscriber. I hopefully should just be able to... Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's actually not that bad then. And yeah, just with some ultimate ingots in the middle, we should have gotten the creative source, although I think I messed something up here. Alright, so I think it wasn't working before just because the pedestals weren't being recognized. So I went ahead and moved the entire thing to right next to the other extended crafting stuff. And I think I have the recipe correct this time. Let's try it. Anyways, now let's go ahead and deal with the Chaos Catalyst with that out of the way. I think for these wafers and whatnot that we need to automate for this, all we're gonna need is a bunch of circuit fabricators. Oh yeah, we're missing this stuff, hold up. And for where we're gonna place these fabricators, Well, I think across our passive hall is a pretty decent location. Yeah, so back at the crafter's room, I decided to just keep the compressor. And over here, we can have the 10 circuit fabricators that we're gonna need. They're also placed in this weird orientation so that I can power them from technically the back. Technically, we only need 7 of these. But if you look at all the wafer recipes, you get them 3 at a time. While the advanced wafer, you only get 1 at a time. So we're gonna have 3 machines for that. All we should need is some output drawers, an ME interface, and yeah, we'll just have to filter in all the items. All right, and we'll want a drawer controller for this. So just a bit of trim will help with that, and then we'll put a storage bus under this. Oh yeah, and we want to siphon off all the outputs to the drawer controller. We'll do that on red, and that should be good. So yeah, now let me start filtering in all the machines. And after these last few aesthetical improvements, we now have all 7 wafers fully automated. There's a couple of them here that I've been auto crafting a few episodes ago, so we have a couple thousand already. Everything else here though will take a while. I had to move the drawers up by 1 block just because you can only input from the top. But anyways, moving on, we have those fully automated. We can take them off the list. I think next up I'll want to deal with nocturnal powder. It's actually not that bad. I should be able to just batch craft enough of this. Oh yeah, look at how fast that is. Whoa. Don't know if there's any way to automate this. But I mean, even then, it's probably not worth it. I actually already have enough illumination powder for this. Now I've just got to upgrade it to the nocturnal powder itself, which is going to need a little bit more stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, I know I said I wasn't going to try and automate it, but I mean, I still kind of did. So let's go through it real quick. So all I have is a crate here supplying all the items. I'm going to fill this manually. And then we insert from the crate into the table with a limited item filter, of course. Although actually, hold on, let me remove that. The coal doesn't work in this. It works with all the items here that only use 1 stack. But for the coal, which we need 2 stacks for, I have a resonant retriever set to that much. This is the only thing that I know that works with this. And so now, as long as this crate is topped up with items, which it looks like it's not really doing that well. So yeah, as long as that's topped up with stuff, we should be able to run this constantly. Yeah, so you need to have the recipe filter in before you do this, or else it just places the items in the top left. Anyways, I'm gonna let this run for a couple of minutes, and then hopefully when I'm back, we'll be good to go. Okay, there we go. That's 13,000 of that. Didn't take as long as I thought it would. Alright, next up, let's take care of, I guess this time absorber. It's not a difficult craft other than the machine frames. Although, I don't know, can we animate these? Oh, we can't even place them down. Wait, that sucks. We need like 12,000 of these. Actually, that's not that bad. If I just increase the plastic buffer and Electrum. Oh, and even then, Electrum Plates has EMC. Better yet, can we animate this? Ooh, yes we can. Okay. Actually, wait, if we can animate those, as long as this is placeable, can we animate this? Oh, in that case, it's not even that big of a deal. Yeah, no, this is actually going to be quite easy. Oh, and if you can't tell, the TPS is absolutely dying right now. I think it's all because of that ectoplasm farm, so I'm definitely going to be removing that once we have enough. Or maybe I'll remove like one of the modules to help with the TPS. It'll still balance itself out, even though we have less farming, but the farms run faster. So what am I looking for? Oh yeah, I'm trying to damage these guys, I forgot. Anyways, time absorbers, yeah. Quickly filter that into a drawer, and yep, that should be good. I guess I should also be doing the rest of the easy ones out of the way, like the applied energistic singularities. I guess those can go over here. This was supposed to be a couple sag mills for pulverizing, I think blitz powder is what I was going to do in those. For the neutral steel, but obviously we don't need that anymore. I should be able to just stick a matter condenser, a sink, and a couple lasers. This is, to my knowledge, the fastest way to get singularities. Oh yeah, look at that. We're getting like 1 every tick. So yeah, I'll put a downgrade in the drawer. It's fast enough. So by the way, the quantum ring that we have at the farm, I just noticed this. It broke again, and I'm not really sure why. I think it has something to do with the wireless connectors. I guess in that case, I'll just go with a cable. Okay, yeah, no, now everything's working again. Well, anyways, I came over here so that I can actually set up the bamboo thing. So let's do that. And I guess that can go somewhere over here. We can do something similar to that setup over there. A couple pieces of dirt, our imaginary time blocks, and then some mechanical miners. We'll have the 2 drawers for storage. Because yeah, we get bamboo shoots and the bamboo itself from this. Go ahead and conduit these into the drawers. Okay, and somehow this time, I tried using the lasers to actually connect it to the network, and it works. Even though I thought it's not supposed to, it didn't work for these setups. I don't know why. Maybe I was being a little bit stupid. Let me try this again. Okay, and for some reason now it's working. Don't know why they weren't working last episode, but I'm not complaining. Oh, and I guess since I'm already here, let's also take care of the other Erebus item, the Amber Star. Looks like the glass has EMC, but the resin does not. Although luckily, I did keep a sapling of this. I am so glad I did that. I think we'll just need to plant this and then harvest it. Okay, yeah, so the time block works on this. Good. And I guess to harvest it, I just need like a plant gatherer should work. Yeah, we can put it on the other side. We actually get to keep the symmetry with this setup. Let's go. And let me just double check. I don't think the plant gatherers replant the saplings, right? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It does not replant the sapling. In that case, I want to have a mechanical user. And let's get a building gadget. Select it to that. And I'm thinking a horizontal wall with a big range. Now, if we place that in there, give it some saplings. It actually works. Oh, that is awesome. All right. Okay, but it looks like we'll have to charge the gadget. I wonder if I can just place a Spectre charger in there. Okay, now. In that case, we'll just have an energetic infuser. Yep, there we go. It's not very fast. Let's give it some upgrades. And yeah, no, that actually works. Somehow. All we need to do now is just get an EMC link to supply the saplings, of course. And after a little bit of time, I've gone ahead and made a couple changes to our farming setup. Otherwise, it works the same. I just had to fix the fact that the mechanical user was sometimes not working, so I just moved it to the middle. And then I also added more plant gatherers. And yeah, then they're all connected to lasers to this interface, which then goes to a drawer controller, and we're storing all the outputs. Now we connect this guy to a laser. I also have a trash can here filtered for a couple items, because sometimes these saplings drop apples and stuff, and I don't really need that. So, but no, other than that, it works the same. But yeah, now we just need a crafter set for the amber star. All right, yeah, there we go. Anyways, yeah, moving on. So I think next up, we're gonna want to deal with ethereal slates. This honestly shouldn't be that big of a problem though, because obviously we have the creative tank for our blood. And maybe in that case, I should also make this a tier 5 blood altar, so that we can have both altars running to make us the ethereal slates. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Although because we're supplying the blood via creative tank, we're definitely gonna want a bunch of these displacement runes. If only I had more imbued slates. I don't though. Oh yeah, and some acceleration runes wouldn't hurt either. What are we missing? Yeah, I think I want to have 10 of these acceleration runes per altar, and oh, we need to upgrade our blood orb for that. Not a big deal. Looks like if we put in another star, that'll work. Yep, okay, there we go. We get the Archmage blood orb, and we should be able to craft with this. Yeah, there we go. Cool, and I guess that can replace the sacrifice runes. Okay, and now let me try and get a bunch of displacement runes. Actually, you know what? Since I'm redoing the setup anyway, I think I'm gonna adjust the way that we have these runes. So let me grab all of them. And yeah, let me see about trying to get the perfect setup for our altar here. Okay, so a little bit later, this is the design that I went for. This altar over here should have 56 speed runes, 15 runes of capacity, 10 acceleration runes, and 27 displacement runes. And if we go ahead and use the creative tank, oh yeah, that's about 3 buckets every time. I don't know if that's going to be fast enough though. I already filtered the servo here for ethereal slates, so let's just turn it on and see what happens. Okay, yeah, no, the blood is dropping rapidly. Maybe we go with a couple more acceleration runes instead of these runes of capacity, because let's be honest, I don't think we're going to need them. Yeah, oh, yeah, now it seems to be keeping up. That's good. Okay, yeah, so the updated list is 19 acceleration runes and way less runes of capacity. Anyways, yeah, so now we can get rid of this guy. There we go. And now all I need to do is copy that setup to over here. Oh, and I don't think I explained this already, but the reason we have the rune configuration like what we have it at is because by default, the blood altar doesn't really accept life essence that fast. It's actually not accepting it at all right now. What? Well, I don't know why it's not working, but anyways, usually at default, it accepts like 20 millibuckets every second, which is absolutely garbage. But these runes of acceleration remove 1 tick from that operation. So if you only have 1 of them, then it takes 19 ticks. And if you have 10 of them, then it only takes 10 ticks for each input of blood. And that's why the maximum you can have of these is 19, because obviously 19 will bring it all the way down to 1 tick, and it can't go faster than that. The displacement runes, on the other hand, they just allow more blood to be inputted at each operation. Oh, hey, it's actually inputting blood now. But yeah, you can see every second it's only doing 20 millibuckets. So yeah, a good combination of these two allows us to input blood very, very fast. Anyways, yeah, let me finish copying this setup over. So there's the second blood altar, and now we just have to make this a little more automatic. Obviously, me having to fill in this crate every now and then is not that great. So I guess what we can do is come underneath the altar and set up an EMC link and an ender chest. So that will extract into the altar, and then we want a filter to only extract ethereal slates out of the altar and into our ender chest. This is the one that we have for our blocks and stuff. So in a second, I'm gonna have to filter that in, but let's see. Okay, yeah, nope, it's definitely working, and we're draining on blood. Let's not do that. And I'm hoping this is gonna be fast enough. All right, now it looks like the last thing we have to deal with, at least for now, is going to be the Naga scales. And I think the best way to do that is to just have a wood mob farm. Yep, nothing really special. I guess we can take out the wither mob farm since we don't actually need this anymore. And yep, there we go. We're getting the drops. Yeah, so that was really easy. And actually, I think, you know what? That's pretty much it. Oh, but I did just notice we need a bunch of brown plastic. And since I don't really need any more cyan, oh, that's a mistake. Yes, I was going to say, we can just switch this one to doing brown. Yeah, let me try and grab everything that I can in this recipe. And then we'll come back so that we can set up a crafting table for the chaos catalyst. Hopefully. Well, I'll tell you what, we're not missing as much as I thought we would be. Just these couple of items here. For everything else though, it either has EMC or we already have a very robust production of it. Oh, but actually for these netherite and nether amethyst crystals, they have blocks. So I've already been animating these. I've been doing it since the morning of today. So we're up to 14,000 here. And for the amethyst, we're up to 15,000 blocks. Yeah, we're good on that. So that just leaves all of this nuclear craft stuff, compressed iron gears, and enticing crystals. I think the easiest ones we can do is zirconium. That's literally just a smelting recipe. Beryllium too, I think we already have it actually. Yep, we already have a recipe for that. Let's get like 16,000 is the number that we need, I think. Same with zirconium. Then we also have zircaloy, which is also easy enough. HSLA, that's a couple more patterns, but it's also easy. Yep, so those guys are going to take a while to cook. That then leaves the compressed iron gear, which I'm just going to dedicate a compactor to that. We haven't been running the seed for compressed iron for a while, although we still have a backlog of 1.5 million, so that should be good enough. And I guess for the compactor, we can just replace the pulsating iron alloy smelter. We do not need that anymore. And yep, Yep, there we go. All right, and last but not least is the enticing crystal. Oh, and I didn't notice that. This thing actually has EMC, so it's not even going to be a problem. Yoink. And there's that done. Oh, yeah, and just as a side note, you guys might also notice the TPS is getting a little bit better. Yeah, it's at 14 now. It used to be at 10 or so, and that's because I turned off one of the ectoplasm farms. Although now, because of that, the other farms are running much faster, which means they should make up the difference. That's the hope, at least. And that way, we're not actually sacrificing any speed. Anyways, I think actually with that, we can just go ahead and filter in all the items into the crafting table. Oh, but it seems like we're still missing zirconium. Why is that not smelting? Is it just everything else taking priority? Yeah, it looks like it. I'm just gonna cancel the craft real quick. Okay, there we go. And apparently it's not a shapeless craft. But yeah, nice. The chaos catalyst. And there we go. Wait, am I an idiot? Is this not a quest? Oh, it's just not. Yeah, I guess it's the chaos ingot that's the quest. But anyways, we'll filter in the storage monitor. Got one of these, and I'm actually sending all the chaos catalysts straight back into the system. It's not like they're gonna clog up the drives or anything, and this is a little bit cooler of a display. But yeah, no, I already did the piping and everything, so we have lasers underneath. And so all we should need to do now is AFK a bunch, wait for all of this to start crafting, and I guess in like 20 minutes or so, we're gonna be able to craft our first chaos ingot. Ooh, which means we can actually start getting the creative generator. Yeah, other than the chaos ingots, this actually looks super easy. Oh, okay, wait, never mind. Maybe it is that bad. What is this prism item? Okay, just a bunch of singularities of stuff that we can get easily. Anyways, yeah, no, let me just wait around here a bunch, and then hopefully once I'm back, we'll get started with all of this fun stuff. So yeah, see you in a bit. Well, about 1 or 2 hours later, we're up to 300 chaos catalysts. That's not bad. And I've made sure to also keep crafting specter coils in the meanwhile. Yeah, every time this ectoplasm count goes up to 107,000, that's about the time that I can request another 10,000 of these. Anyways, chaos catalysts. We're gonna want to use these for the chaos ingot. And so all we're missing from this, it looks like only ludicrite actually. And there you go. All right, yeah, I present to you the chaos ingot. Anyways, let's see how many we can get of this. 31 ingots is not that bad. And I guess by this point, I should start looking into filling out the recipe for the chaos plank. Actually, wait, no, let's not get distracted. I still need to do all of this stuff first. And we can start off with the enhancement crystal. It's a very easy recipe. And I'm hoping this is going to be enough for the end game. Oh yeah, we only need 1 per for the chaos plank. And then we need these prisms 4 each. Oh, but this is used quite heavily. That actually might be a problem. I was not considering that. Let me go ahead and try and get one of these. And then I'll be back. And with a little bit more work, there's the prism block. And yes, we can place it down. Can we animate this? I'm so happy right now. Yeah, this is great. And I think actually while I'm here, let me turn off a couple of these farms that we don't need anymore. Just because I think most of the TPS lag is coming in from these mob duplicators. So let's just take a couple off here. I don't think we're going to need whatever this is. And like blank runes, we're probably not going to need that anymore. Ooh, we can even take off time absorbers now. We're up to 37,000 of those. Okay, and I think for now that's good. I did take out a couple more. Anyways, now we'll just add in the prism. So I think now let's at least try and get one of these creative generators just to say that we've got it, right? I definitely don't have anywhere near enough chaos ingots to get half a stack of these. So this is probably going to have to be another instance of me leaving my PC overnight so we can build up enough resources. I guess I'll just get 28 of all the other ingredients. So yeah, let me do that real quick and then I'll bring you right back. And a little bit of work later, this is what I have filled out of the recipe. We're only missing these 4 items, which aren't too bad, I hope. I'll deal with the ultimate energy cubes first. But of course, these things don't stack, so I'm just gonna stick it in this crate over here. Anyways, next up, let's deal with this thermoconducting alloy, which is just some boron arsenide. I think actually we already have this, right? Yeah, nice. And so yeah, that's all the easy stuff out of the way. Now let's deal with this rainbow generator, which I'm hoping there won't be too much of a hiccup. Well, I put in all the recipes, so let's see what the damage is like. Well, you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Pink dye has EMC. Enchantment tables also have EMC. Brewing stands have EMC. Ice. Oh, that's interesting. Never mind, we can craft it with a bucket and cryotheum. Magical wood. Actually, that's not that bad. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh my goodness, that is slow. 16 seconds? And I need like 5 stacks of these. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll just use the crafting recipe. It does take a lot of XP, but remember, we have creative tank, so we can take out as many levels as we want. Okay, well, I dealt with most of the issues. And yeah, no, we can request them now. That'll hopefully be done soon. And while that's going, let's go ahead and take a look at this infinite capacitor. Now, that does mean we're going to want these induction cells. We can cheat a little bit with the nuclear craft lithium. So I don't really know why I'm using the crafting recipe for this. We have pulverizers for a reason. All right, according to my count, we're going to need 16 of these induction cells. And it's totally easy. Okay. Oh, and look at that. The rainbow generators are already done. That was surprisingly fast. I think that was the only really difficult part about this. Yeah, let me get the rest of these materials then. Okay, yeah, no, as I thought, the materials materials were really easy to get. Oh, and actually, that was literally all we needed. Let's, I'm only gonna craft one for now, just for the quest, because I don't have that many chaos ingots, and I definitely want to get some other stuff today. Although, never mind. I guess actually not that many stuff use it. Yeah, you know what? Just let's craft as many as we can. Oh, and I was wondering why the recipe wasn't working, but no, I'm just missing some enchanted ingots on the side. Anyways, there's the first of many creative generators. Awesome. It's not like we need it. We have way too much power anyway. Oh yeah, and also let me grab the rest of these. Well, it's about that time of the episode where I go and edit all the footage. And based on how much time we have left, we can decide what to do next. So let me go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll be back. Well, here's a little update for you. I haven't actually finished editing all the footage and stuff, but I still just wanted to give a little update here while I'm still working on that. And so actually a couple of things have happened. First of all, yes, I did AFK overnight, but unfortunately my game crashed halfway through, which means we don't actually have as many chaos catalysts as I would have hoped. Only 800. But another reason that it's at 800 only is that we've ran out of something here. Oh yeah, brown plastic, yeah. And it looks like the reason for that is there's no coal in these guys. Yeah, no, the interface is just not supplying any items anymore. Oh, okay. We just ran out of channels on that line. Just extend the dense cable along. Yeah, okay, now it's working again. All right, well, with that out of the way, another thing that has happened is I got one of these terminals here so that I can go ahead and encode the recipe for the creative tank. I just put it in this interface right here, which dumps the items into the crate. So, you know, there's that. Oh, and why are we out of CPUs, huh? All right, I'm still crafting Spectre coils, yeah. We had about 1 million ectoplasm, so I decided to just start that craft up. But anyways, yeah, so we have these on autocraft now. I just thought I might as well mention that. And the last thing for this update has to do with our resin farm. If you're gonna try and copy my design, just don't. Use a farming station or something. This design is so garbage. I've had to modify it a lot and it broke again, it looks like. The issue I've been having is with these saplings, they're just so picky about the conditions they need to actually grow, or the space requirements, that is. And sometimes the gatherers would leave some like floating bits of the tree, just like this one right here, which would completely stop the farm. I thought adding more plant gatherers, which actually they have a very big range, I thought this would fix it, but as you saw, it got stuck again. So I don't know, I'll probably switch this out with a farming station if we need to. Although at this point, I was gonna say I have enough amber stars, but I don't. Yeah, it's probably a good idea then. Oh yeah, and these quantum entangle porters are here just because the spectre coils keep breaking whenever the tree grows along a certain way. So I thought maybe having this guy would make them not do that. But nope. One of these guys broke. So yeah, this farm has a lot of issues. Anyways, I think actually that's all I had for this little update. I'll get back to AFKing and editing the footage, of course. And hopefully once I see you, I'm thinking I'll start working on getting at least one of all the other creative items. There's honestly not that many left, so it shouldn't even be that big of a deal. So yeah, I'll see you back in just a bit. Alright, hey, welcome back. So, it's the next day for me once again, and I did finish editing all the footage. Oh yeah, and I also switched this out for our farming station. I'm using a hoe of the green earth here, just because it's like the cheapest unbreakable hoe that I could find. None of the other options were working, so, you know. Anyways, right now we are up to 1400 chaos catalysts, and you know what that means, more chaos ingots. Yeah, so from all that we ended up with 2 stacks and 8 ingots. That's not bad. Yeah, okay, now we can get started on making all the creative items. The thing is, I also want to upload this video today, and currently it's 10 p.m. So yeah, I'm gonna have to speedrun through these really quickly. So yeah, I honestly don't care about getting the rest of the materials for half a stack. Just get me one right now and we'll get the rest later. Okay, cool. So here's the first one, creative modifier. Put that in the creative chest, and I'll put the rest of the ingredients for the other half a stack that I'm supposed to do just in this crate right here until I'm actually ready to do it. Anyways, moving on. Infinite energy, sure. Oh my goodness, that is a big recipe. Okay, and there's really quickly the infinite energy from magnetic craft. Okay, I'm missing more heavy tungsten plates, but it doesn't matter. We have it. All right, what's next? Let's keep it coming. Reactive creative coolant port. That's, we're actually going to be making a full stack of these creative coolant ports because you also need it for the creative steam turbine generator. Also, hi, one of the recipes needs a liquid antimatter bucket, so we're going to have a fluid fabricator for that. I am not crafting those manually right now. Okay, there's 1 stacks of these things. Wait, no, I'm missing some stuff. Okay, yeah, now we're good. Okay, and because I don't actually have as much time as I thought I did, I think I'm gonna stop it right here at these creative turbine steam generators. That's a long name. Yeah, I don't have that much time left to record. Anyways, I think with that, we're gonna wrap up the episode here. We only have 3 creative items to go before we have them all, and the chaos plank is looking closer and closer by the day. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll come back next time to get all the creatives and continue working on our quest for the creative chest. Anyways, for now though, have a great rest of your day.